Friedrich Guggenberger was a German admiral and U-boat commander in the Second World War. He was highly successful during the war. From November 1940 until his capture in July 1943, he sank 17 ships for a total of 66,848 gross register tons and damaged another for 6,003 GRT. He was also responsible for sinking the British aircraft carrier HMS Ark Royal in November 1941. For these achievements he received the Knight's Cross of the Iron Cross with oak leaves, among other commendations. After the war he became the Deputy Chief of Staff in the NATO Command AFNORTH. Early life. Guggenberger was born in Munich on 6 March 1915. He had entered the Navy by 1934, transferring to the U-boat arm in October 1939, shortly after the outbreak of the Second World War. After the usual training pattern he was assigned to U-28, where he served under the command of Knight's Cross holder Günther Kuhnke. Guggenberger then briefly took over from Kuhnke and commanded U-28 for a few months whilst she was part of a school flotilla. He was awarded the Iron Cross Second Class on 23 March 1940. U-81. Guggenberger then received command of U-81, commissioning her on 26 April 1941. He carried out 3 patrols in the Atlantic, encountering moderate success and sinking 2 ships. He was awarded the U-Boat War Badge 1939 on 8 July and promoted to Captain Lieutenant on 1 September. He was then ordered to take U-81 into the Mediterranean to join 29th U-Boat Flotilla. His first attempt failed when attempting to force the Straits of Gibraltar. U-81 was spotted by RAF planes and attacked, causing heavy damage. U-81 retreated to Brest where she was repaired, and Guggenberger was awarded the Iron Cross First Class on 9 September. U-81 sailed again to attempt to enter the Mediterranean in November 1941. Whilst transients the Straits on 13 November, he met the ships of Force H. Returning to Gibraltar, he was able to attack the aircraft carrier HMS Ark Royal, hitting her amidships with a single torpedo. He then escaped the depth charge attacks of the escorting destroyers. Despite attempts to salvage Ark Royal, she had to be abandoned and sank the next day. Guggenberger was awarded the Knight's Cross on 10 December. U-513 and capture. Guggenberger went on to have a number of successful patrols in the Mediterranean, and left U-81 on 24 December 1942, being replaced by Johann Otto Krieg. Guggenberger was awarded the oak leaves to his Knight's Cross on 8 January and oversaw the commissioning of U-847, but did not take her on any war patrols. The presentation was made on 31 January 1943 at the Wolf's Lair, Hitler's headquarters in Rasenburg, present-day Kętrzyn in Poland, for the oak leaves presentation. Following the presentation, Hitler met with Donitz and Vice-Admiral Theodor Krank in private. In this meeting, Hitler appointed Donitz as Oberbefehlshaber of the Kriegsmarine following Raeder's resignation on 30 January 1943. On the return flight to Berlin, Donitz informed Guggenberger and the other officers present of this change in command. He then joined Admiral Karl Donitz's staff for 3 months. He returned to sea in May 1943 in command of U-513. He only undertook 1 patrol aboard her though. After sinking 4 ships and damaging a 5th, she was sunk on 19 July 1943 by depth charges from an American PBM Mariner whilst off the coast of Brazil. Guggenberger was one of only 7 survivors. Badly wounded, he and the others spent a day aboard a life raft before being picked up by an American ship, HMS Barnegat. Guggenberger was operated on and then hospitalized for a period, before being transferred to Fort Hunt on the 25th of September 1943, followed by the prisoner of war camp at Crossville later that month. By late January 1944, Guggenberger had been moved to the Papago Park camp near Phoenix, Arizona. Escapes. Guggenberger met with 4 other U-boat commanders and on the 12th of February 1944 they escaped from the camp. Guggenberger traveled with August Maus, but they were recaptured in Tucson, Arizona. Guggenberger was part of a larger breakout of 25 POWs on the night of 23-24 December 1944. This time he traveled with Jurgen Guare-Faslim and managed to make it to within 10 miles of the Mexican border before they were recaptured on the 6th of January 1945. After these escapades, Guggenberger was transferred to Camp Shanks, New York in February 1946, and was then repatriated to Germany. He was held in a compound in the British Zone, near Munster, before being released in August 1946. Post-war and personal life. On the 16th of November 1940, Guggenberger married Lieselot Fischer. The marriage produced 4 children. Guggenberger became an architect, before rejoining the Navy, by now the Bundesmarine, in 1956. He studied at the Naval War College in Newport, Rhode Island, and rose to the rank of Conter-Admiral. He became the Deputy Chief of Staff in the NATO Command AFNORTH, and served there for 4 years. He retired in October 1972. He left his home on the 13th of May 1988 for a stroll in the forest, but never returned. His body was found 2 years later. Awards: Iron Cross Second Class First Class, U-Boat War Badge, Medaglia d'Argento al Valor Militare, Medaglia di Bronzo al Valor Militare. 171st Oak leaves on the 8th of January 1943 as Captain Lieutenant and Commander of U-81.